Beautiful people out there, so for today we are going to learn about car animation. It will be a complete guide for everything. We will be going through some complex things in Blender, but don't worry, I will make it beginner friendly as possible. To make this video much more easy and less complex, I'll be splitting this video into 4 categories: rigging, environment building, shading, lighting and composition, and at last animation. So without further ado, let's dive into this video. In this animation, we'll be using an add-on called RAR Addon. So we'll be using this in the entire tutorial. It's a free add-on, link is in the description. Download and install it. That's it. To install this add-on, it's very easy. Go to Edit, Preference, then Install, and find your downloaded zip file and click on it, and again click Install. That's it. Go to your search bar, search for RAR Addon. Then your add-on will be there, so just click it and enable it. That's it. For this, our first process will be preparing our car model. For that, first of all, we need to import our car. File, Import, and find your downloaded file and click it and import. At first, our main intention is to separate our car into 9 parts: 4 tires, 4 brakes and a body. So enough talking, let's prepare our car model for the rigging. So now let's click 1 on our numpad, then come to this view and check our tires are aligned properly. It should align in 90 degrees. To align it properly, click your object and click N to get this view. In the transformation over there in the rotation tab, you can adjust your rotation and everything. Now click 3 on your numpad and make sure that your car is facing in this direction. If it's not, it will make a lot of issues while we're rigging. Another way to check whether our direction is proper or not, import a monkey and make sure that the car and the monkey is facing in the same direction. If it's not, select your whole car model and click R and Z, then rotate. Now let's join some mesh to make our life much easier. So we are starting with our tires. So select every parts of your tire except the brake, and then highlight one of the part and click Ctrl J to join every mesh. Now let's try rotating our tire. If our origin of our object is not proper, then we will get issues like this. To fix this issue, select our object and go to Object, Set Origin and select Set Origin to Geometry. Mostly using this option will fix your problem, but in here it's not working for me. So instead of using Origin to Geometry, I am going to use Origin to the Center of Mass. Now let's talk about our brake. So we have to join some mesh here also. So holding Shift, select every parts of your brake and click Ctrl J. Now the boring part, we have to do this with every tires and brakes of our car model. Well, we successfully separated our each tires and brakes. Now let's move to our body. Before that, we need to hide every tires and brakes. For that, select our object and click H to hide, and do this with every tires and brakes. Then select our base of our car model and click A to select rest of the parts. Then click Ctrl J to join all mesh. Now let's bring back our hidden tires and brakes. For that, click Alt H. Now we need to parent our tire into an empty. For that, select our tire, then Shift S and cursor to selection. So our cursor will come in the center of our tire. Later, Shift A, empty, a plain empty axis. So after importing the plain empty, select our tire, then holding Shift, select our empty, and Ctrl P, object, keep transform. Keep this in your mind when you parent the tire with the empty. In here, so when we rotate the tire, the brake pad should not rotate along with the tire. But when we turn our tire into right and left direction, that brake pad should follow the tire also. So how will we fix this? The only thing we can do here is parent the brake pad into our empty. But the drawback is when we rotate the empty, the brake pad also follow the empty. So how we fix that? So when we rig, we can fix that. For now, just parent the brake pad into the empty. That's it. Let's do this with every other tires and brakes. Now we have to parent our body into an empty. Select our body and Shift S and cursor to world origin. Then click Shift A and bring our empty. Select our body, then hold Shift and select our empty and Control P, object keep transform. So we parented our body, our tires and everything into separate empty. Now we need to name each of our empty as specific names, as which is tire, which is body and which is brake. For that, I gave a code in the description. Go and copy and paste it in each of our empty. Why are we doing this? Because this add-on can't detect which is tire, which is body, which is brake by itself. So we have to help him. So let's talk about the codes. So in here, one thing you have to keep in your mind, do not change the right side of the hash. Like in here, my car body, so do not change body and with the hash. So do not make any changes over there, but you can change anything in the my car side. So you can change it to Porsche or something, whatever you like, but do not change anything on the right side. To rename the empty, it's very easy. So come here and copy our code for the body, then Control C, then come back to Blender, then select our body empty, then click F2 so we can rename our name here. So I'm just Control V, pasting the name. That's it. Now I will teach you how to find your left and right. So here, come to back side of your car, then you can easily find which is your right and which is your left. Keep this in mind, this is very important because now we are going to name our tires different names. There will be codes like left and right. So we should have the knowledge to find right and left of your car model. That's it. At first, I'm going to start with my left tire. For that, selecting my left side empty, then going back to that node and copying the second code, then coming back to Blender, F2, Control V, paste it, then that's it. Now let's do with our right tire. So copying the second code, then selecting the right side, F2, Control V, paste. Let's do the same as our back tire as well. So go to our node and copy the fourth code and come back to Blender, F2, paste it, enter. That's it. Let's do that on the right side as well. Go to the node, then copy the fifth code, Control C, and come back to Blender, selecting the empty, F2, Control V, paste it, enter. That's it. Now we have to do this with the brakes as well. So go to our node, then in here you can see the codes for our brake. FT front brake, FTL, so that's for the left, FTR, that's for the front brake, right? So the codes are there. So first of all, I'm selecting the front brake, then clicking F2, then renaming it. Then I'm selecting the right side, F2, going back to that node, then copying the second code, Control C, coming back to Blender, F2, Control V. We need to do the same as our back brake as well. So I'm going to the node, copying the third code, Control C, coming back to Blender, finding my left brake, then selecting it, F2, Control V. Do the same for the right side brake. Go to the code, copy the last code, come back to Blender, F2, Control V. That's it. Almost everything is done. So in pad 3, I'm going to select our body parent and do this and select every other object, and again I'm repeating, this center part should be highlighted, center body empty should be highlighted. Control P, object keep transform. Then you can check, if you move our main empty, the entire car will move with the body empty. That's what we want. And if we move our just selecting our tire, so now the body is not moving, just the tire is moving. So that's what we want. We are in this position, so let's select this armature, this body empty, then select rest of them, and also carefully highlight these brakes selected. Okay, so again I'm going to hold shift and highlight this one, shift A, armature, car deformation rig. So if you look at here, we have plenty of armatures. In the add-on side, there will be an add-on will pop up, which is rig a car. So just select that and click generate. If you look at here, we got a really powerful rig. So I will show you some features of it. So in here there is an option wheels on y-axis. That means if we move the car on y-axis, the tires will move. So let's check this, and this is our rig for the movement. So let's check this. It will be dark blue. If you select, it will become light blue. So just select that, and I'm clicking G and clicking Y along with that. Then if you move your mouse, you can see the tires are also moving. So I will give you a closer look here. GY, see our tires are moving. I'm sorry, my screencast is not working. So GY, see our tires are moving properly. So we don't have to manually go here and give animations and stuff like that. We don't have to do that. This add-on will manually do. So if you click on the back side, we can drift this car. So if you click on this rig and click G and move, see, you can see that our car is moving, like the back side is moving. So we can make drift animation very easily. You don't have to move every parts of this car and align with the animation or anything complex. So it's very easy. And one more feature is, as I showed you, our wheel, front wheel, we can turn it. Like if you click here, this rig and click G, see, you can move. It will move along with that, whichever direction we want to go. And I will show you few more features. Like this one, we can give a full body shake like this, and this is our shock absorber on the front side. So you can see we can manually give animation to it. So our car rig is working properly. So let's make our environment. So shift A, I'm importing a cube, then S plus Z, reducing the height, then SY, increasing the length, and SX, and I'm scaling it on the x-axis. So in here I just made a basic shape for our road. Then I'm clicking tab, going to edit mode. In here we'll be using these three options on the top: vertex selection mode, edge selection mode, and face selection mode. The shortcut for this is 1, 2, 3. So if you click 1 and 2 and 3, so it will change accordingly. I'll introduce few more shortcuts. If you are in object mode and if you want to jump to edit mode, you can click tab. And if you are in post mode, if you want to jump to object mode, you can click Control tab. In the edit mode, click Control R, then you can give loop cuts for it in the object. So Control R and giving a loop cut on the left side and the right side as well. Now we are going to add a modifier to our road. So by selecting our object, go to modifiers and search for mirror modifier. After adding the mirror modifier, go to edit mode, then click 3 to go to our face selection mode, then select our left side face, then E and Z. So we are extruding it a little bit, then we are not giving that much height, we are keeping it like this. Now we are going to give a little bevel on the edges. For that, go to vertex selection mode. To do that, click 1 on your numpad, then holding Alt and click on the heads. After that, Control B, move your mouse and use your scroller wheel to control how much vertices you want to add. Now let's make our pillar. For that, Shift A, and I'm importing a cube, then scaling it and keeping it on the left side over there. Then go to the modifier option, then let's add a mirror modifier to our cube. Enable clipping, and in the mirror object option, select our cube. Now let's model our pillar. For that, going to edit mode, then hit 3 to face selection mode, then selecting the top face, clicking E to extrude. Give a desired height for your pillar. Later that, selecting the top face, again extrude a little more. Then select your top face and S to scale and scale it a little bit, and then make a shape like this. Now select the face on the right side, then click E and extrude on X-axis. Now by selecting our road, go to modifiers and search for array modifier. Now let's tweak some settings in our array modifier. In here, in the X value is 1, make it 0, and on the Y axis give a value of 1. Now you can see our road is going on the backward direction. We don't want that. So to fix that, in the Y axis give a negative value like -1. Now you can see our road is going in the right direction. In the count value, let's give a number of 25. Now I'm going to apply both of my modifiers, array and the mirror. Don't forget about our pillar as well. Select our pillar and apply the mirror modifier. Then search, add another modifier, array modifier. Then in the X value, make it 0. On the Y axis, give a value of -8. For the count, I'm going to give a value of 18. For the roof, I'm going to do a lazy trick here. Shift D, duplicating our road, and I'm going to keep it on top of our pillars. Voila! Our roof is ready. Why not? Now I feel like adding a little details in our roof. For that, Shift A and importing a cube, I'm going to make a pillar or a concrete beam. So I'm making a shape which roughly look like a beam, and I'm keeping it on our roof just like this. Selecting the pillar we just made and adding an array modifier. Then in the X value, I'm giving a value of -6. Later that, I'm going to apply this modifier. After that, I'm adding another array modifier. This time in our X value, we are making it 0. On the Y axis, we are giving a -1 value. After that, on the count, we are giving a value of 18. And I'm applying this modifier also. Now we are going to make a steel pipe on both of these sides of our bridge or our road, whatever you want to call it. So I'll be following the same method as we followed to make our road and our concrete beams or pillars. Apply this modifier again, add a mirror modifier, select this cube, so we got one here also. Cool. And I'm applying this modifier also. Ctrl S, save my file. Now our environment is almost ready. Now let's give some textures. Yeah, so I'm not giving too much density on this, like I'm not giving too much of vertices or anything. I'm just keeping it simple, but if you are doing anything, you should give a enough number of vertices, otherwise it will give some glitches. But in our animation, it's not necessary, because the car will be moving, the camera will be moving, so everything will be blurred. So keep it like that. The animation part we can do in the last. Before that, let's do our shading part, lighting and composition. So first of all, Shift A, I'm importing a camera. I'm snapping it over here, Control Alt 0, numpad 0, and click Shift F, arrange it. Okay, cool. I'm giving a 35 mm focal length. So let's shade everything. For that, I'm going to our material preview, mode. You can go like this, or you can hold Z, then you can jump to any of these options. So only this object has some materials, so we have to give materials for each of our other objects. So let's like our road first. Before that, if we give road texture in this object, it will spread everywhere, so we don't want that. So Alt and go into face selection mode, select this. So I'm selecting almost every faces on the surface. Then P, separate selection. So in here, if you look at here, we have a separate object. For the shading, I'm not doing anything manually. I'll be using this add-on called Blender Kit. It's absolutely free. Link will be in the description. You can download and install it. If you install the add-on, you will get a panel like this on top of here. You can search for models, materials, scenes, animations, and everything. A lot of stuffs are there. It's absolutely free, and you can see some of the subs are locked because there is a subscribed option also. If you take the subscription, you can use their every object. If you don't take the subscription also, it's fine. You can use there are plenty of free stuffs over there, so you can download and use it. To apply the road texture in our road, select our road and search for road texture and select which one you like. Just select it and it will automatically apply to your object. So there is nothing complications going on here. So now you can see a small glitch. It's because the other object is overlapping with our object, so just keep it a bit high, then the problem will be fixed. If your texture is showing some issues like it's not syncing with our object or something, you can directly select your model and go to your shading tab, and you can check in here on the mapping area. In the mapping area you can adjust everything, the location, rotation, scaling and everything. So it will help you to fix the problems if it's there. Now let's add a concrete texture to our road base. So I'm searching for concrete, and yeah, we got some results. So I'm selecting this texture. Done. So I'm going to give the same materials to other parts also, as our pillars and our roof. To do that, go to shading and in this tab search for concrete. So our material is here, select that material, so our material is applied. Also do the same with for our metal pipes in each side. Select our metal pipe and search for metal texture, and it will show some results. So select whichever material you want. I'm just selecting this material here, so just select it, so the texture will be applied directly without anything to do. So we already added materials to every part. So now let's check our lighting. So when we go to our render properties, when we go to our render view, you can see it's complete darkness. Yeah, because there is no light. To fix that, on the right side there is world properties. On there in the color option near that yellow, click on the yellow dot and go for the sky texture. Voila, we got a sky texture here. So it's so easy, isn't it? In here, if you go to the shading area, you can see in here we will get an object shading area. So if you select an object, you can see what all shades are there, and if you go to the world section, you can see what kind of shaders are going in our world shader. So after coming into this tab, play with these values of our sky texture. So I'm just adding some rotation and stuff. I prefer you to spend much more time in this, then you can make your scene a little more cool. Okay, so I'm just adding some rotation and stuff, casting this shadow on top of my car, and I'll be tweaking some other options also, and this is what I end up with. So now let's give the animation for our car model. Select our rig and control tab and select the lower one, I mean on the ground there you can see. Okay, select this, so the color will change. See, so now it's selected, and I am going to camera view, location. So I give a keyframe here, and I'm going to the last frame and go to the end of this bridge, GY, drag the car to here till here, I. So I gave a animation. Now let's check, is our tires are rotating? Nope. So just click the rig RAR Addon. So activate this, then definitely your tires will rotate. Okay, now our tire is rotating. Go to camera view. Let's animate our camera also. Object mode, click our camera, location rotation, and go to select this and go to last frame. Click dot in your numpad. So let's keep our camera here. Control Alt 0. Snap our camera over here. Location rotation. Let's preview it. Okay. Cool. But in this area, it's not complete. So what we can do? So go to first frame, Shift F, and moving it like this might help. Okay, rotation. Let's see. Yeah. So here I am satisfied with our camera animation. So let's do some other thing. In real life, if you watch a car moving, you can see the body is also having a small motion, like a vibration kind of motion. So how will we make that vibration in the 3D world? It's easy. Go to our pose mode and select this rig. Then if you give any animation to this rig, definitely you can give some vibrations, right? The easiest way to achieve this kind of motion is select that rig, click I, and give a keyframe for the location. Then go to the right corner, left click and drag like this, so you can make a split screen like this. Then go to the top option and look for graph editor. Click that, then you will get a graph editor over here. Now if you select our rig, you can see some options pop up on our graph editor. So if you go here and click here, you can see X, Y, Z axis. So we gave keyframes in these axes. So in the right side we will get a pop-up option. If you are not seeing any options over there, just click N, then you will get the option. Then by selecting our X axis, go to modifier, add modifier, and add noise modifier. That's it. We gave some animation. Now let's try playing our video. Yes, so there are some vibration, but it's too much. Now let's tweak some settings in our modifier. On the x-axis, I'm going to give you the scale value 0.2 and strength 0.1. This works fine for me. And now we have to give the modifier into y and z axis to get perfect animation. For that, go select our x-axis and go to on the right corner, and there is a copy option. Click that. After that, come back to our y-axis and on the right corner click that paste option. Then change the scale value into 0.1. Do the same with our z-axis also. Then change the scale value into 0.1. That's it. Click Ctrl Tab to come back to our object mode. Later that we are going to give animation to our camera. For that, select our camera. Then on the right side we will get an option which looks like a camera. So select there, and in here I'm going to use another add-on called Camera Shakeify. This one is also free. I'll provide the link in the description. Select the camera. On the right side there is a plus icon and click it, and I'm giving handy cam run. So, and reducing influence a little bit, about this 0.515 or something. Then I'm just trying to play the animation. Yeah, it works. So let's render a frame and let's see how is it looking. Click F12 to render. And this one took almost a minute to render. Now let's check our render. It's not looking that good because everything is very sharp. It looks like 3D. Yeah, 3D. There is no motion blur or anything because I forgot to add the motion blur. So let's see how to add the motion blur. Go to the render settings, and I forgot to say that I'm using the cycles and render engine. In here you can see the motion blur and just enable it. That's it. And go to our noise threshold option and change the noise threshold into 0.1, so it will save some time to render. Okay, so let's try it again. Click F12. Now it looks much better because there is much more motion blur and it looks like it's moving too. Cool. Now let's talk about our final part, compositing. So to do that, go to the compositing part and there is a use node option. Just check that and you will get these two nodes. Now we have to add few nodes, and to add nodes click Shift A, and I'm going to search for a glare node, and after that a lens distortion node, then at last a viewer node, and connect everything just like which is shown in the screen. In here behind our nodes you can see our output there. So to zoom out click V, to zoom in click Alt V, so we can zoom in and zoom out with these keys. So now if you look at our compositing tab, you can see some weird glows everywhere. So to fix that, in the streaks change into foreglow, so we will get a soft glow, then the quality into high. Now if you check here you can see the glow is very soft and subtle. For the lens distortion node, for the dispersion give 0.50 and check the fit option, and for the distortion give a value of 0.040. So I just covered almost every important topics in this animation, so you can simply render this out and post it somewhere. Tag me there also if you can. If you watch this video till here, I really appreciate that. I can see the urge to learn this Blender software in you. I'm really proud of you. Well, if you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you on another tutorial. Bye bye.